What exactly is a melody? Most of us recognize a melody when we hear one, but it is challenging to define. The New Oxford American Dictionary defines melody as a sequence of single notes that is musically satisfying. That definition is vague, as that could include random tones from wind chimes and the chirping of small birds. For the purposes of musical study, our definition of melody must be more specific. Let's look at the specific attributes of musical melody. Like wind chimes, melody has pitch and duration. Unlike wind chimes, melody is linked to human breath capacity, language, and thought patterns. When you sing in the shower, you are singing a melody. Melodies are organized with a sense of beginning and end, forming a recognizable whole. Next up, I'll play one of the world's most famous melodies, Amazing Grace. Watch my fingers as you listen. The individual notes I pluck create the melody of Amazing Grace. You've heard a melody and know what it is. Next, let's look at quantifiable characteristics of melody such as range, motion, articulation, phrase, and cadence. These quantifiable characteristics are used by musicians to describe and classify melodies. The distance from the lowest to highest note in a melody is called range. Range is expressed as a numerical value known as an interval. For example, range may be expressed as a third, fourth, fifth, octave, etc. Let's listen to the first and only. Try to figure out what the range of the melody is. You can ascertain range by listening, watching finger movements, and/or following the score. I'll tell you what the correct answer is after we listen to the piece. The highest note in the first and only is F, and the lowest note is D. The distance from D to F is the interval of a third. Thus, the range of this melody is a third. Movement from note to note in a melody may be stepwise or by leap. Ode to Joy uses stepwise motion, moves up and down the scale without skipping notes. Most melodies are a mixture of stepwise and movement by leap. In Somewhere Over the Rainbow, you can hear stepwise motion and motion by leap within the first phrase. In fact, the first two notes have a leap of an octave. Articulations control the attack and decay of a note. That is, the note's beginning and end. The two basic articulations used in music are called staccato and legato. If notes are short and detached, they are said to be staccato. Notes that flow smoothly are said to be legato. The first section of Ode to Joy is organized into 2 segments. Each segment begins the same and ends with a long duration. These segments are called phrases, basically a musical sentence. The long duration heard at the end of phrases is called a cadence. Cadences are like musical punctuation and create a sense of repose. Vocalists and wind players normally take a breath after the cadence. The cadence at the end of the first phrase is unstable. It ends on the second note of the scale and thus sounds as if asking a question. This type of cadence is called an incomplete cadence. It tells the listener that the music is going to continue onwards to another phrase. The cadence at the end of the second phrase falls on the first note of the musical scale. This note, known as a tonic or do, sounds stable and complete. It is the answer to the question asked in the prior phrase. This stable cadence is known as a complete cadence. Thank you for watching. Check out the harmony, chapter, and video for next time. I'll see you on the other side.